I try and find out about the interests and strengths of the students. And then obviously if they're twice exceptional, I need to know the learning difficulties as well. In New Zealand, we don't often have an educational psychologist report. Students don't get diagnosed with giftedness or giftedness with learning difficulties in New Zealand. They're picked up by happen chance along the way. So we only find out about these students if perhaps their parents have had concerns, so they did take them to an educational psychologist, or perhaps because by happen chance they've had somebody that's recognised that they are, they are gifted and talented, or they are quirky, as a lot of my parents will say about their twice exceptional students, or the teachers will, that they're quirky along the way. So trying to find evidence in terms of a definitive diagnosis for gifts and talents or learning difficulties in New Zealand can be challenging. But if we do have that, then obviously it's a lot easier to address their gifts and talents and their learning difficulties, for instance, more precisely. Otherwise, we have to kind of self-diagnose those along the way, so that can be difficult. But as far as strategies for teaching them, obviously if you suspect they've got gifts and talents, you can enrich their learning. You can put them in a higher level at the curriculum. I accelerate students because I'm in charge of the Learning Enrichment and Acceleration program at our school. So I'll look at where they're sitting as far as a curriculum level goes, and I'll look to see whether they would cope with the next level up, for instance. And we can either do a single subject acceleration in New Zealand, i.e. if they're good at maths, but they're not good at English, I would accelerate them in maths, but leave them where they were in English. However, sometimes because of, they are have general domain giftedness, we can actually skip them a year. And so they will be accelerated by a whole year. If they're not quite ready for that, or they've got learning difficulties that are impacting upon their ability to express their gifts and talents in a field, sometimes I use more of an enrichment approach, and I'll use independent learning contracts with them so that they can progress through a curriculum level and study an area of interest kind of all in one, and come up with a project that we can look at for an assessment of a learning outcome that we've decided together. So co-construction is really important to me. Co-constructing learning.
Okay, so it's nice to know that. So how did you learn about this strategy you used for the gifted students?
I've learned about it along the way. I've always been fascinated in this field, and years of experience. I've got children that are quite academically able as well, so I've been fascinated by how they were provided for in the classroom. And about 15 years ago, we had a change in how we assess students at our fifth form year, which is year 11. Year 12 and year 13 are our senior assessment years. So I don't know what system you use in Dubai, but we have our own assessment system in New Zealand. We don't use Cambridge exams unless you go to a private school to do Cambridge exams. We don't use International Baccalaureate again unless you go across to a school that will specifically provide it. So in New Zealand, we've made up our own assessment system. And so when they introduced that, nobody seemed to know what was going on, and that concerned me. So I swapped from my other career, where I was a dental surgeon, and I swapped into being a teacher because I was very concerned about how my children were going to be catered for in this system. But then I learned that I actually really enjoy teaching. So it's kind of, over the years, I've kind of just collected more and more qualifications related to the field of gifted and talented education.
Okay. So now, if you consider there is a course about gifted education, so what do you wish the topics in this course?
And as far as the course in my school that I lead?
Now, if we offer a course about gifted practice or gifted education for teachers, what do you wish the topics?